Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. We are talking about the responsibilities and duties of the children towards their parents. In this regard, we recited a verse of the Holy Quran in chapter 17, verse 23. That verse is saying, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded you to worship only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to be kind to your parents. From this verse, we mentioned that a lot of points can be deduced. We mentioned 3 points and now the fourth one. The fourth point that we can understand, and it implies, the verse implies, from the term وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, we will understand that our responsibility is only to be kind to our parents. The verse does not say وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ تَسْلِيمًا. We must not be submitted to the extent that if my father or my mother commanded me to do a crime or a sin, then I will obey them. No. If your parents are demanding you to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this situation, you are not permitted to obey your parents. Between obedience of your parents and obedience the Lord and Creator, Allah the Almighty, of course, priority should be given to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The obedience of the parents is obligatory, but to the extent that it will not result in disobedience of Allah the Almighty. If your father, because they are non-believer, are asking you not to offer prayer, not to fast, not to do the Islamic teachings, or they are ordering you to drink unlawful drinks like alcoholic beverages, you are not allowed to obey them. What the verse is saying that وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, you as a child, even if you are a believer and they are non-believer, you must be very kind to them. You must respect them. You must be very beneficent to them, not to obey them blindly, even if they are demanding you to disobey your Lord. So this is what we can understand from the verse. The fifth point that we can understand is that there is a difference between the term al-birru bil-walidain and al-khair. We have these two terms. Both of them literally means to do good, to be kind. When you are doing good to somebody, it is called al-birr wal-khair. But there is a very delicate difference between these two. Al-khair means that if somebody has asked you to do a favor to him and then you will do a favor, this is called al-khair. It is good. But al-birr is more than that. Al-birr means that before he asks you to do a favor, if you do a favor to him, this is called al-birr. And we are commanded in Islam to be وَبِرًّا بِالْوَالِدَيْنِ وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي in another verse. So al-birr bil-walidain means that before your father asks you, before your mother asks you to do something good to them, you yourself embark on doing good actions to them. So this is another point that we can understand from the verse. The sixth point that we can deduce from the verse, it says وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, to your parents. Does it make any difference whether if they are rich or they are poor? No, it doesn't make any difference. From this general term, we deduce that even if your parents themselves, they are very rich, they can employ a servant for themselves. But it doesn't mean that you must not respect them, you must not be kind to them. We have a tradition that somebody says, سألت أبا عبد الله عليه السلام أن قول الله عز وجل وبالوالدين إحسانا. One of the companions of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that I asked him about this verse of the Holy Quran. What does it mean? فقال عليه السلام, Imam alayhi salam said, it means أن تحسن صحبتهما. You must be very kind and beneficent to them. وأن لا تكلفهما أن يسألاك شيئا مما يحتاجان إليه وإن كانا مستغنيين. Even if they are not in need of your help, even if they are self-sufficient and they don't need your help and your support, but you must begin to be kind to them. You must try to do and to satisfy their need before they ask you. You mustn't wait until they ask you, then you go and do their demands. Before they ask you, you should do their demands, even though they are very rich and self-sufficient. Another point, or the fifth point that we can understand and deduce, is that you as children must be kind to your parents. It doesn't make difference even if you as a child, you are in a very high position. You are highly educated. You are among the big people in the society. It doesn't make any difference. Even if you are a president, you are a prime minister, member of parliament, but your parents, they are illiterate. No matter, no problem. You are their children. You are their son, and you must do your responsibility towards your parents. Look at this verse of the Holy Quran about Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Jesus Christ, who says, وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي وَلَمْ يَجْعَلْنِي جَبَّارًا شَقِيًّا. Chapter 19, verse 32. And He, Allah, has enjoined on me to be dutiful and kind to my mother. When Prophet Isa, who was a prophet, who was the best among the people, who was the highest among the people, he is commanded to be kind to his parents. Of course, we should know our position, that whoever we may be, at any level we may be, it doesn't make any difference. We have to be careful about our parents. So this was another point that we can deduce from the verse in chapter 17, verse 23. It shows the importance of being kind to our parents. We will continue with the same subject, inshallah, in next program. Until then, thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.